Okay, these are some short thoughts on the movie Much Ado About Nothing. That's the 1993 Kenneth Branagh movie adaptation of Shakespeare's play Much About Nothing. So after having read the play Much Ado About Nothing and seeing the movie, it's interesting to make some comparisons. Now, I didn't actually have my copy of Much Ado About Nothing in hand as I watched the play, so I didn't kind of go through following the script. But as far as I could tell, no lines were added to the movie. Kind of, as far as memory serves, everything in the movie was straight from Shakespeare, all the dialogue at least. And the plot remained pretty faithful. They did add some scenes, so that no dialogue, but they did add in some scenes. There's the opening scene when Beatrice was reading the poem. Now, sorry, I thought that scene didn't come off well. I thought it seemed a bit stupid. The reason was that the poem really wasn't that funny, but all the characters were laughing at it, and it just took me out of the movie a bit. But I realized that the opening then Shakespeare's play is a little bit abrupt, so the filmmakers needed something to ease the audience into the movie. One of the criticisms I have of kind of adding too many scenes to a Shakespeare movie is that when you take a Shakespeare play, it's usually too long for a 2-hour movie. So you kind of have to take stuff out to fit to fit it into a 2-hour movie. So if you have to take all this stuff out, then it seems pointless to add a lot of extra scenes in, unless you can make the case that the extra added scenes are doing something for the movie. So for example, I can understand why they added the scene of Don John running away, because that helps to understand what's going on in the plot. Also, the added scene when Claudio sees what he thinks is Hero on the balcony, that seems to add something to the plot. But the bathing scene, what was up with that? That didn't add anything. I mean, maybe you could make the argument that the filmmakers were trying to break up kind of Shakespeare's dialogue and make it a little bit less tedious, except that this was right at the beginning of the movie, so there wasn't any tedium to break up yet. Maybe they just wanted to have something that they could flash the opening credits on top of, but I still thought it was too long, and really it wasn't all that interesting. I have the same criticisms of the dance scene at the end. Too long, not really interesting. I think the added scenes actually made the movie more tedious, not less tedious, like they should have done. And that scene where Claudio was reading the poem to Hero's grave, the filmmakers unnecessarily extended that scene. And it's right near the end of the movie, so the audience, or at least me, is kind of getting restless anyways at that point. It would have been better not to extend it. Another big difference between the play and the movie is the setting. Play takes place in kind of Shakespearean England, and this setting here kind of modernizes everything. In fact, it seems like just about every Shakespeare play, every Shakespeare movie comes out now has a modernized setting. Well, most of the plays as well, actually. If you go to like Stratford to see the plays, Stratford, Canada, or wherever you see them, half of those are modernized. But definitely most of the movies, they're modernized. I don't know why this is the case. I mean, like, I can understand it was a clever thing to do the first time around. But now it just seems like it's getting boring. Every Shakespeare play is in a modern setting. Like, why not have a few of them in the original setting, the original Elizabethan settings? I don't know if there's a cost-cutting element going on here, like it's cheaper to use modern scenery and modern costumes than to kind of recreate Elizabethan England. Or, maybe they're worried that people have kind of such a, so traumatized by their school experience that if you showed like a Shakespeare play with the authentic medieval setting, Elizabethan setting, people will have an adverse reaction to it. I don't know. Just making wild guesses here. Yeah, that's everything I have to say.